This is the vocabulary video for geographic features. We'll cover a few of the most common geographic features that we'll encounter in social studies this year. Our first vocabulary word is arable land. Arable land is land that is able to support growing crops. As we go through these words, you should also pay attention to the images that go along with it, whether it's in the background or on the side. In the background here, we can see arable land, land that's able to support growing crops. Our next vocabulary word is island. An island is a piece of land that is completely surrounded by water. Manhattan is an example of an island. That's not a picture of Manhattan, but it's another example of an island. Our next phrase is archipelago. An archipelago is a chain of islands. In other words, a bunch of islands that are really close together. In the image to the right, you'll see that Hawaii is an archipelago. It's a group of islands or a chain of islands grouped closely together. Our next vocabulary word is coastline. A coastline refers to the land along a large lake, sea, or ocean. The image in the background, you can see land up against an ocean. It's where the land meets the water. That's a coastline. Our next phrase is desert. A desert is a large land area that receives very little rainfall. In the background, we see an example of a desert that's hot, dry, and sandy, but deserts could also be in very cold areas as well. Our next geographic feature is hill. A hill is a small area of land higher than the land around it. You'll see the difference between a hill and a mountain in the next slide. Take note of the image to the right for hill. Our next vocabulary word is mountain. A mountain is a natural elevation of the Earth's surface. A mountain is much higher than a hill. Much taller. Higher elevation. Our next phrase is natural resources. Natural resources actually refers to quite a few things. The definition of a natural resource is a material found in nature that can be used in manufacturing or in making things. So, for example, to the right, you can see that things like oil, fish, trees, water, natural gas, fossil fuels, all of these things count as natural resources. They're found in nature and they can be used. Our next word is river. A river is a large stream of flowing water. Our next word is peninsula. A peninsula is a piece of land that is surrounded by water on three sides. A peninsula is different from an island. An island is completely surrounded by water. A peninsula is only surrounded on three sides, as you can see in the image here to the right. This piece of land is surrounded by water on one side, two sides, three sides. This area of land is a peninsula. Our next word is plain. A plain is a large, treeless area of flat land. When you think of a plain, you should think of flat land and it has very little trees on it. Our next phrase is plateau. A plateau is a large area of high land that is flat. You can see in the image behind the definition, a plateau is definitely taller than a hill. Sometimes it's as tall as a mountain, but it doesn't have to be. And you can tell from up here that it's flat on top. We call this a plateau. You see it here as well. Next we have rainforest. A rainforest is a thick evergreen forest in a tropical region that receives at least 100 inches of rain per year. Meaning it gets a lot of rain, hence all of the green plants that grow in a rainforest. And you can even tell that just from the picture, right? All the greenery, the evergreen trees. Our last word is steppe. A steppe is a semi-dry, grass-covered plain. So it's not completely dry. It gets some rainfall. It is covered in grass, and it's flat like a plain.